Hello, everybody. I'm Brett Mix, and this is another edition of the Monday Night Wars. This is week 24 of the Wars, March 11th, 1996. The 27th episode of Nitro, but the 24th week they go at it in head-to-head because Raw has been off some nights, Nitro is off some nights in the last 27 weeks. So only 24 of the last 27 weeks have been head-to-head, so that's why this is the 24th week of the Wars. Nitro this week scored a 3.2 to Raw's 2.9, so a win by 0.3 for Nitro. Raw was on alone last week. Nitro wasn't on, and that Raw drew at 3.6. So a lot of the WCW viewers went to Raw because WCW Nitro wasn't on due to some preempted show on the Civil War on TNT last week. So, yeah, this one went head-to-head, and like I say, Nitro got a 3.2, beating Raw's 2.9. So Nitro now has, when they've gone to war in 24 weeks, Nitro has 12 wins to the WWF's 10 wins and 2 draws. So they're 12, 10, and 2 against the WWF. So this week 24 of the War for Nitro, it's a 3.2 rating. Steve McMichael, Eric Bischoff, and Bobby Heenan do the commentary for it. Nitro begins with Bischoff talking about the strap match tonight. Lumberjacks will be all around the ring in a 6-man tag between the Horsemen, Savage, Hogan, and the Booty Man. And it's prelude to Uncensored, so they'll be talking a lot about that. Anyway, let's get to the ring. Let's kick things off live on TNT from the venue Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That's a long name for an arena and a place. It's the venue of the Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Wherever that is. I'm Canadian. I know where Carolina is on the map. I'm just saying wherever Winston-Salem is. I know Carolina's in the southeast of the states. All right, let's get at it. The Giant with Jimmy Hart takes on Jim Duggan. I know American geography probably better than Canadian geography. Canadian geography is just boring. Anyways, open it up with the Giant, Jimmy Hart taking on Jim Duggan. Jim Duggan comes to play where the big boys play, and there's no one bigger than the Giant. Jim Duggan tried his best to inflict punishment on the Giant, but it had little effect. The Giant then poses, catching him in midair. Duggan came off the top. Giant catches him in midair with a bear hug, but then he drives him into the ring post on the outside. Giant in the ring clobbers away at Duggan with the bear hug again. This is a standing bear hug this time. Giant in trouble, so he takes a bite in the bear hug of Giant and then clobbers him in the corner. Giant stomps on Duggan to get back in the offense, and he stomps him to the floor. Duggan then gets caught with an arm to the back, and Giant throws him to the side ropes. Jim Duggan unleashes a series of rights, and then grabs the tape from under the ring. The ref doesn't see the tape. Jimmy Hart then drags on, and Jim Duggan and Hart and gave him a headbutt. Then he turned around. Duggan gave Hart a headbutt, Jimmy Hart, and then he turned around and Giant chokeslammed him. So the Giant gets the victory after the chokeslam at 6:30. It was a basic big man match with the Giant, rated a 1.25 stars. That's 1.25 stars. The Nasty Boys were supposed to be out here for a tag team match next with the Road Warriors, but all of a sudden the Steiners come out on bikes. So the Steiners are coming out the way the Road Warriors came out, and apparently the Nasty Boys have been beat up backstage. So who did that? Apparently it was the Steiner brothers who wanted to take on the Road Warriors. So the Steiner brothers attacked the Nasty Boys backstage to get their time slot against the Road Warriors. And it's a good thing they did because this match was amazing. The Steiner brothers versus the Road Warriors, it was great. For 1996, both teams made their in the late 80s, but in 1996, these guys put on a clinic in a tag team match. I like that the Creed brothers in the current WWE are like the Steiners. Well, it'd be like the Creed brothers taking on the Road Warriors. That's how the Steiners versus the Road Warriors was. Bischoff says the Nasty Boys went to the hospital, so the Steiners beat up the Nasty Boys backstage so they can get at the Road Warriors in this match. Bischoff trying to create the environment that anything can happen on Nitro, so sort of copying Vince McMahon's anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation. Anyways, Scott Steiner with Road Warrior Hawk. He suplexes him. Hawk then driven up to the top rope, but he headbutts out. Hawk and Scott Steiner go at it with a big boot, a power slam, and a kick. Steiner comes back And a big pop for Road Warrior Animal as he's tagged in. He Irish whips and power slams him off the ropes. Two of the greatest tag teams going at it. Road Warrior Animal with a body slam and a high jumping elbow. A kick and then to Animal, and he takes it atop. A German suplex to Animal. Rick gets Animal up high with a belly-to-belly overhead top suplex. A powerful to Road Warrior Animal. Scott Steiner then with a beautiful belly-to-belly suplex. Unbelievable action here, as the Steiners are just suplexing the Road Warriors over their head. Steiner with a body slam into the turnbuckle. Scott chokes the Road Warrior Animal's head to the post while he's in the Tree of Woe. And a tag kick, frequent tags by the Steiners as they tagged like every 15 seconds, Rick and Scott did. Road Warrior Animal gets a boot up to Rick as he came charging in. And he wants to get the hot tag to Hawk, but he just can't get there yet as the Steiners come back with the camel clutch. Scott on Animal. Just an unbelievable tag team match here with the action. The words don't do it justice. Steiner's just making a tag after tag, cutting off their half of the ring, making frequent tags, isolating Road Warrior Animal in their corner. Textbook tag team wrestling. Both guys just go under 30 seconds between each tag, like I mentioned. Such a great match. So many tags. Road Warrior Animal comes off with a double clothesline, and Hawk finally gets the hot tag. He comes in and he cleans house with a power slam. A Doomsday Device. They think it's it, but the LOD go for the cover. And then Scott breaks the count. Rick then takes it to Hawk as Scott Irish whips him into the guardrail on the outside. Scott Steiner with the Doomsday Device to Hawk, but Animal got up, distracting the referee. So there was no count. All four men in the ring, as there's no control by the officials right now. There's just a brawl. Rick then powers out Hawk. Steiner with the Hurricane Rana. Steiner and Rick both double teaming LOD. Rick Steiner with a backwards Doomsday Device. Animal uses his spikes to hit Rick Steiner, and Hawk pins him after Animal hits him with the elbow with a spike. LOD gets the victory at 10-10. What a win. Too bad it ended that way, but they kept the Steiners looking strong because Animal cheated with his spikes. I rated this match 3.5 stars. Scott Steiner on the mic says he's been hunting Road Warriors for 4 years now. Just a fantastic technical power wrestling match. Good enough for one of the best tag team matches you'll see for 10 minutes on TV. Lex Luger, the TV champion, took on Alex Wright. It didn't take him long to get Alex Wright into the rack. Luger retains the TV title at 6:37. I gave it 2 stars. Hulk Hogan, Savage, and the Booty Man take on Kevin Sullivan and the Four Horsemen in a 6-man lumberjack strap tag team match. Unfortunately, another main event with the Booty Man, this time a lumberjack match with a strap, so it should be interesting nonetheless. Again, Kimberly comes down down the stage with flowers in her hand, and we're not sure who she's aiming. Maybe the Booty Man, but because the commentary thinks that I think it was Bischoff. One of them on commentary says that they think Kimberly's flowers are for the Booty Man because they're wearing the same colors. I don't know, but action all over the place during this one. Nobody had to tag out. It wasn't a traditional strap match where you touch the 4 corners. It was just strap. Everybody had a strap, and all 6 men went at it at once. Hogan fired up, got revenge for 2 weeks ago because Nitro wasn't on last week. So for 2 weeks ago when he was strapped by Flair and Sullivan, he gets to strap them back. Hogan eventually gets the big leg drop on Flair for the win. The good guys win at 6:29. It was a wild war. I rated it a star and 3/4. The show ends with the build to Uncensored and Savage and Hogan and the Booty Man victorious, strapping the hell out of Sullivan. The good guys go off with the win, but the bad guys stay around for a promo with Mean Gene. Flair leaves or Flair gets ready to leave, but then he goes on the mic and he talks about Uncensored. He says. And then Arn Anderson first grabs the mic and says, "When you marry, it's death do you part." Well, Hogan, we've been married. That's news to me. And he says, "I swear, Savage, this won't be over till death do us part, you and Hogan." Flair then says, "You can beat up the Taskmaster. You can do double A. But the Nature Boy don't ever touch woman." Flair then goes psycho. I know I didn't sound a thing like him. Savage then says, "Look what I got." And he struts around around the ring. He does that run off the both ropes while he's talking. He says, "Don't touch women," and then he goes psycho and says, "Savage, Uncensored." Woo! So they build to the Uncensored. I give this show a 6 out of 10. It had good tag team wrestling, and again, the rating was 3.2 for Nitro, 2.9 for Raw. So it won the week. Nitro is now 12, 10, and 2 through the 24 weeks of the Monday Night War. That's 12 wins, 10 losses, 2 draws against Raw. That's it for Nitro this week. We'll see you next week. I'm Brett Mix. Thanks for watching this review, and I'm out. Hit like and subscribe.